Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, and I hope you've enjoyed my, KieranCast with Aaron and the way that I cut it up on YouTube. I've been experimenting with some other ways of distributing my shit, and I thought a good way of doing that was what I did with that, so like doing like an hour, 45 minutes, whatever, and then cutting it into chunks about specific topics, and then uploading maybe one every 2-3 days. And I thought that was a good way to do it. You could agree, you could want the entire video file, let me know, I'm open to anything. But the reason I'm doing that is because I just opened my crappy website, KieranCast.com. Go there, I'll leave all the links in the descriptions. And through that, I'm going to host the entire audio, so just the audio in one file. So you can go there and you can check it out. Hopefully, I've been trying to do this since the dawn of time, and that is trying to get my shit on iTunes, because I'm a bit of a dumbass when it comes to hosting files or whatever. So hopefully I can get it. It's in waiting. It's in, waiting to be approved. So if it does get approved, then it should be on iTunes, and I'll let you know when that happens. So if you like this way of doing it, which is essentially recorded in video, recorded in audio, the entire audio file goes up on my website and hopefully iTunes, and you can listen to it there if you don't want to watch it. But then if you do want to watch it, I will upload different segments, so that way it's easier for you to watch instead of having to sit there for an hour and a half or an hour, 45 minutes, and just watching me crap on. And then once those 3 or 4 or how many videos are uploaded, I'll just create a playlist, and then you can just go through the playlist if you actually do want to watch it. And then with that, I'll also do my crappy camera videos, where I'm standing over there in the corner. So let me know if you like this idea or not, because it's easier for me, and I think it's easier for you as well. And maybe I might do some audio-only stuff, because again, that's easier, because I look like shit at the moment, because I just woke up, because I'm a ledge. And it's very hot in Australia, unfortunately. So I thought I'd take that time to do that. So if you have any questions, because I want to do a question and answer segment at the end of every episode or whatever, do send them in. You can leave a comment, you can send it to KieranCast@gmail.com, or you can send it to email at KieranCast.com. It's up to you. I'll get to as many as I can. I do want to use this format to rebuke all the EB Games comments I got. We will get into that. It's just that it takes time to prepare, and this was kind of an off-the-cuff thing. So that is what I am proposing. So let me know if that is a good idea or not. Hopefully it will be. And I've already uploaded the Aaron one pretty much to how I want to do it. Obviously you've seen that, so that's all good in the hood. So in this little episode, I would just, it's just a tester really to see if you're into it or not. But I also want to talk about the games with gold, the Far Cry thoughts. I've been playing it for a bit, and women developers. Yes, we're going to get into that. After many eons saying I wouldn't talk about it, I've got to talk about it because it's giving me the shits. So games with gold. If you don't have an Xbox, you probably don't care. But just really quickly, Sherlock Holmes is one of the games with gold, so go and get it when it comes out. Great game, you'll like it. Right, enough of that shit. That's all we need to talk about. Far Cry Primal thoughts. So far I've probably played 4 to 5 hours. It came out yesterday, I believe, and then I went to the beach and got really sunburned. But it is a fun game. If you really loved using the bow and arrow in all the other Far Cry games, you are in heaven, because this is pretty much all it is, for better or for worse. And it seems like they've tweaked it where even if you miss, it still hits them, which is fun, because I am not the best at it, especially from a distance. So that's all good. Again, I'm going to complain about shit, because that's just what I do, unfortunately. I think the story is terrible. But then again, how can you make a convincing story of a game set 10,000 years ago? The setting is pretty cool, I will admit. I don't think there's ever been a game to do it to this degree, that I can think of anyway. But unfortunately, when you restrict yourself to 10,000 or 12,000 years ago, is that it's very basic in terms of what you can do. I really thought there was going to be a magic thing, with spells, not spells really, but just to add an extra gameplay mechanic, I suppose you could say. I haven't hit that. If it is in the game, I don't think it is. You can control the animals, which I thought would just be a shitty gimmick, but it's actually quite fun, and you can just fuck shit up. I've been fucking shit up with my Black Panther, or mountain lion, because there is no such thing as a panther, the more you know. It's just a mutated mountain lion, I think. Or I could have that the wrong way. I don't know. I watch a lot of Animal Planet and then forget about it and then try and repeat it, but I get all the facts the other way around. Or no, that's puma. Hang on. No, fuck it. So yeah, that's cool, but again, you've restricted yourself to characters that speak Ooga Booga language, which is irritating because, like, it's cool that I'm assuming they've created their own language. I'm not up to date with 10,000 years ago. But you've limited yourself. And I feel like I've already done everything that you can do. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I've got the club, I've got the bow and arrow, I've got the spear, I've got the bomb, I've got the throwing knife things, and that's it in terms of gameplay, in terms of combat. The gameplay is very repetitive. It's very much like Far Cry. If you love Far Cry, you'll probably love this, but the only negative is that you don't have guns. And Far Cry is wicked because if you want to just go in there guns blazing, you can, or if you want to hang back and snipe, you can. So to equivalate that, if you want to hang back and use your bow and arrow, you can. But when you run in there guns blazing or clubs blazing, it's irritating because the melee combat is not very refined. So essentially the melee combat comes down to press right trigger for a light attack, hold right trigger for a heavy attack. There's no block. You can throw your club, which is useless, but there's no block, there's no parry. So I don't understand why they wouldn't build this system knowing that, like, 2 of your 4 weapons are melee, essentially, the club and the spear. I mean, yeah, you can throw the spear, but you can also use it as like a long knife, I suppose. But why wouldn't you copy like a sword fighting games, like The Witcher or Oblivion or Skyrim? Why wouldn't you copy those kind of mechanics so you can block, so you can dodge? So essentially what it ends up being is just circle strafing. And as a child who played games from the 80s and the 90s, I've done more circle strafing than I'd fucking need to do. But that's what it comes down to, unfortunately. And it gets irritating. You can stealth around, I've noticed, but because there's no silenced pistol, it's difficult, and it's probably not worth the time investing in going around really sneakily and like taking down people. You still can do it if you want, but the combat is not very defined. It's like just use the bow and arrow from a distance. That's kind of the vibe it gives off. Again, the story so far is crap, but again, it holds the gameplay together. Sorry, it sounds like I'm really shitting on Far Cry Primal, but it's actually an alright game. Like, it's pretty good so far. It was a big chance they took. I think they've pulled it off quite well. I mean, Ubisoft, for all their faults, are amazing at creating game worlds. Look at Assassin's Creed. Look at the Far Cry games. The animals are fun to dick around with. Again, this is not a review. This is just my thoughts because I haven't actually played a lot of it thus far. The camera view, so obviously you're playing it from a first-person perspective. I feel like it's too zoomed in, and that's especially irritating with the already subpar combat, because you can't really see left to right, and as you're circle strafing, it's just like this collage of enemy types that are just, gangbanging you at that exact moment, which is a shame. But it's a fun game. It's different because it does make you do different things instead of just going in there with a silenced pistol or a silenced sniper rifle. You can use an owl, which is pretty badass. You call in an owl or an eagle or whatever it is, and it kind of acts as like probably a UAV kind of thing. And you control it, and you can spot enemies, and then you can take enemies out, or you can drop bombs with it. It's actually quite fun so far. Again, it's probably not going to win any awards, I don't think, unless there is something amazing in the later stages of the game that I haven't accessed yet. Another irritating thing, there's some small irritating things, like you have a pack, obviously, and you can only carry X amount. And if you have all that maxed out, the game doesn't let you know that you have that maxed out before you start collecting shit. So, for instance, you can collect wood, obviously. So if you can only carry 20 wood and you have 20 wood, the game doesn't tell you before you start getting more wood that you have maxed it out. So you still go through the animations, and then it's like, oh, you've got too much of this resource. And you could remember it, but fuck, like, there's that many resources in the game that you're going to just keep holding X or whatever on everything anyway, that it's irritating. That's pretty much it, really. It looks good. Plays good. It's the fluidity. I haven't found any like major glitches or problems. I did get stuck in a cave, and I had to turn the Xbox. Had to quit the game. because I didn't have the grapple thing, and I fell down and I couldn't get back up, which was irritating, but it was just a matter of quitting the game, because you can't throw grenades at yourself and kill yourself, unfortunately, like you can in many other games. So that's my thoughts on Far Cry, and that is my little opinion thus far. I'll probably review the game fully once I've finished it, or got the gist of it. I'll probably end up finishing because there's fuck all else coming out, let's be honest. So that's that. Just do something about it. I mean, it's all well and easy to complain about lack of women in video games or science while you do your liberal arts degree.